Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, this is Regi School of Fashion. In this quick video, I will be showing you how to add an elastic rope on either a celestial garment cap or a cherubim and seraphim cap. I decided to make this video due to popular demand from you guys. Meanwhile, I have a well-detailed tutorial on how to make a CNS cap and a Sutana cap. Kindly check the description area below for the links to the videos. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't, so that you won't miss any of my subsequent videos. Also guys, kindly support my channel by watching ads on my videos. Please don't skip those ads, because that is one of the ways you guys can encourage me in creating more valuable content on this platform. My name is Bolaji and this is Regi School of Fashion. In adding an elastic to your cap, the first step is to take the measurement you have on the cap. This has to be done after the construction of the cap, so which means you are done with everything you have to do on the cap. You can see this is a complete cap. Okay, so for the sake of this tutorial, I will be using this cap as a demonstration. After adding the elastic, you will be having something like this. So can you see what I have at the back of the cap? So the elastic has to be at the back of the cap where we have the joining. So this is the joining side on this cap. Okay, so the first step is to take the measurement all around. You can see where I'm taking the measurement. I'm taking on the opening, that is the edges of the cap, and not on the stitching point, not the point that I applied the edge stitch. So here I have 24 inches. You can see what I have, 24 inches. And the edge circumference measurement I'm working with is 22 inches. Okay, so you have to put these two measurements into consideration. The edge circumference measurement you are working with, then the measurement you have on the cap after construction. Now I will be giving you some values which will work perfectly when you are adding elastic to your cap. Okay. Now here I have 24 inches. So because I have 24 inches, I will be marking 5 inches on my cap. Okay, so if you don't have up to 24 inches, so which means you will reduce that measurement. You can use 4 inches. If the measurement you have on the cap is not up to 24 inches, you can use lesser than 5 inches. You can use 4 inches instead of 5 inches. But if you have more than 24 inches, which means you will have to add to the 5 inches and make it 6 inches. You cannot have more than 25 to 26 inches for the edge circumference measurements. Another thing I need to tell you guys is this same method is applied for both celestial garment cap and the CNS garment cap. So if you are adding elastic to a CNS garment cap, you apply the same method, and if it is celestial garment cap as well, you apply the same method. The only difference is if you are adding an embellishment to your CNS cap, so this has to be done before adding your embellishments. So you have to add your elastic first before embellishing the cap. So that is the only difference. So now from the inside of the cap, so that is the wrong side, you can see, so this is going to fall at the back of the cap. So I will be measuring 5 inches, and this is going to be on both sides. So which means I will measure 2.5 inches on both sides. 2.5 inches here. So this joining part is my center line. So 2.5 here and 2.5 on the other side. So now let me tell you this. After gathering your cap with an elastic, you can have lesser than the edge circumference measurement you are working with. That is not an issue. For instance, on this cap, what I have here is 21 inches. So it is not up to 22 inches. Okay, so when the wearer is putting this on, the elastic will expand. Okay, it will expand like so, and the cap will stay firm on the head. Okay, so if you have lesser than that measurement, it is usually lesser than the hair circumference measurement after adding the elastic. So that is how it's meant to be. So that is not an issue. So like here I have 21 inches and the hair circumference is 22 inches. So by the time the wearer put it on, it will stay firm on the head. Okay, so now I have the two sides marked out. You can see. So the next step is to cut out the elastic rope I will be inserting. So when adding an elastic rope, we have different sizes for elastic rope. So you can see what I have here is 1 inch wide. So the width is 1 inch. So this is 1. Then for the other one is 1.75. So that is 1 inch and 3/4. It is not up to 2 inches, but the thickness, apart from the wideness, it is thicker than this. You can see what we have. Okay, so it all depends on your choice. You can use either of the two, but as for me, I prefer using this elastic. Okay, so I really like the effect on the cap. So this is what I have for the wider elastic. Can you see inside? So it lasts longer on the cap than the smaller one. So now I'll be cutting out the amount of elastic rope I'll be using. Because what I have here, which is the measurement I measured here, is 5 inches. So for the elastic rope, I don't need more than 3 inches. So the measurement for the elastic rope has to be lesser than the measurement you have on the cap. If you have up to 6 inches, cut out 4 inches for your elastic rope. If you have lesser than 5 inches, reduce the measurement of your elastic rope, because that is what we gather the fabric at the back. So I'll be cutting out 3 inches for the elastic rope. Okay, so just pay a closer attention to this, because the beauty of this is to have a neat finishing, just like the one I have here. You can see it's very neat and it's beautiful. You can see what I have, but if you don't pay attention or stay calm when you are doing this, you will end up having a very rough cap at the back, or else your cap will not look neat. Okay, so after cutting out the amount of the elastic rope I will be using, so the next step is to fold the elastic rope into 2. Then I will get the midpoint. So I will mark out the midpoint of the elastic rope. So here I have the midpoint. Then I will place the midpoint of the elastic rope on the midpoint of the cap. Don't forget, this joining line is a midpoint. Okay, then I will move this away from the edges of the cap. So I will move it away for like half of an inch. So I'll move it away by half of an inch. I will mark half of an inch like so. The wideness of the band is 2.5 inches. You can see what I have. Okay, so I will place this on the half of an inch. So the effect of that half of an inch is what I have here. You can see how it looks. So it gives the cap a very good look at the edges. So that is the effect of that half of an inch. So I will place the midpoint on the midpoint like so, then hold it with my sewing pin. Okay, so this next step is to stitch. So in stitching, you can see the elastic is far away from the marked point. So it is now left to me to stretch this. I will stretch it until it touches the elastic rope. After attaching the elastic rope, make sure you confirm the measurement you have all round. If the measurement is much, if it is up to the head circumference measurement, or the wearer is beside you, the cap is too big, it's not firm on the wearer, the only thing you need to do is just to remove the elastic rope, then add to the measurement you use, then you refix. That is all. So now I will be placing my cap on the sewing machine like so. So I'll be starting from the starting point. So make sure the needle does not fall exactly at the edges of the elastic. So you can leave a space of like 1/8 of an inch. So it must not be very close to the edges. So after getting the point, the next thing is to set my machine to the zigzag function. If your machine has no zigzag function, make use of the straight sewing function. The zigzag stitches is just to secure the seam from being ripped off. So which means if you are making use of the straight stitches, you will have to run the stitches more than one time, like 2 to 3 times, so that it will last longer. So now I will be stretching the elastic rope until it gets to the marked point. You can see what I have. So in order to have this on a very straight line, a complete straight line, I will mark the 1/2 inch point here as well. So, and I will make sure this falls on the 1/2 inch point. So you can see as I'm stretching the rope, I did not stop exactly on this point because of the rough edges I have on the elastic rope. So I will make the elastic go beyond that point a little. Then I will turn my cap to the other side. So don't forget I started stitching from the center point. So this is the other side. Then I will stretch the elastic rope as well to get to this point. So when you are doing this, don't drag your cap. So just leave it so that it will have strength to gather. So don't stretch it, don't draw it or pull it. So just leave it like so. The only thing you need to pull is the elastic rope. So while you are pulling, make sure it exceeds the mark point a little, as I said earlier. So now I will come to the upper part of the rope, of the elastic rope. Then I will stretch this as well in order to align with the one I have at the opening. You can see what I'm having here. Then I will hold it with my sewing pin. Then the other side as well, I will stretch it. So the best way you can do this is to take the measurement all over. So that is a 5 inches measurement, 2.5 on both sides. So mark the points. So when you stretch this, make sure your cap did not gather around here. Can you see what I'm having? If you don't do this, you will not have a neat finishing at the back. So on this other side as well, I will stretch it. Then secure that point with my sewing pin. So now I'll be closing the other edge of the elastic rope, but I will start from this side. So I will stitch like so. I will stitch on this edge, then I will close it permanently at this side. When doing this, you have to stretch your cap like so. You can see it's laying flat, it's not squeezing. Don't let it squeeze, so that you will have a neat finishing. So make sure you pull your elastic rope until it's aligned with this part. So guys, this is what I have after stitching the four sides. You can see the shape I have like a rectangle. Okay, so the last step is to run stitches at the middle. So I'll be running 2 stitches at the middle, so which is going to be parallel to each other. So you can see the line I'm drawing. So that is, so if you don't know where to place your stitches, you can take the measurement you have left at the center, then divide it into 2. Okay, so it is not something serious. This is just to hold the center properly, to hold it firm. So when we are running the center stitches, you don't need to stretch your cap anymore. So guys, this is what I have after running the stitches at the center. You can see the inside, and this is how the outside looks like. So can you see how beautiful it looks? So this method is applied both on celestial garment cap and the C&S garment cap. So now after doing this and you want to add your embellishments, so when you are ready to add your embellishments, as I said earlier, it has to be done after attaching your elastic rope. So just fold the edges like so. So which means you will not tamper with the elastic area. Okay, so that the elastic around there will be able to function. So you fold the raw edges. You start from where this stops. That is where the elastic rope stops. Then you can now add your embellishment. Then you stop on the other side of the rope. And of course, this is going to fall at the back, so nobody will be seeing this like so. So it's going to fall at the back. So that is how you add your embellishment after attaching your elastic rope. Thank you guys for watching this video to the end. Kindly try yours and share your experience with me at the comment section. Feel free to drop all your questions, as I will be so glad to attend to them all. Also, remember to go through all the videos that have been linked up in the description area below. They will really be of great help. Thank you once again, and always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.